Some seem to be questioning whether this emergency is worthy of a robust federal response. They say the cost to help families rebuild and recover is too much, that it should be reduced. It's not necessary that in this emergency, unlike many other similar emergencies in the past, we should do something smaller and wait to do the rest later. But I think those who suggest or make that argument don't seem to understand that a piecemeal recovery is a failed recovery. You can't rebuild half of a bridge unless you know that the entirety of the money that is necessary is committed. It's as if some of our colleagues don't believe when we describe this tragedy, and I welcome any one of our colleagues who wants to visit us in New Jersey, as I took a series of members who were willing to go. I invite them to come with me to see the breadth and depth and scope of our devastation. I asked them, do you think Governor Christie is making this up? Do you think that this fiscal hawk of the Republican Party is looking for federal aid that isn't desperately needed? Do you think that we made up these photos of the damage? I can assure you we didn't. This is a picture taken just at one small part of the Jersey Shore, but if I could have a continuum that would bring us around this chamber, it would look exactly like this. This is Ortley Beach that shows blocks and blocks and blocks going back of homes that have been totally destroyed. It's an image that can be seen up and down the New Jersey coast. So the storm damage is real, and the governor's request for funding, which were actually $20 billion higher than the supplemental that we are debating, is significant, that it was $20 billion higher than the amount that we're debating. And these requests were scrubbed by OMB from the governor's original request, gone over with a fine-tooth comb by the Appropriations Committee. And everything in this bill, whether it's Sandy or other, is about declared disasters. Declared disasters. So those who come to the floor and say that they're upset about the Army Corps' element of this disaster bill, that the budget in this bill is too rigorous. They say that planning and rebuilding for the future is a waste, that we can have another legislative opportunity to deal with the future, but I would submit that those members who very much care about fiscal responsibility, that is neither efficient, nor is it effective, nor is it fiscally responsible. Here's a picture taken at Surf City, New Jersey, right after the storm. This beach received beach engineering in 2007 as part of the Army Corps' Long Beach Island Shore Protection Project. And you can see that despite damage being done to the dune held and saved lives, saved property, and saved us money. Alternatively, the pictures of Union Beach that I previously referred to, it's a working-class town that couldn't afford the local match for the Army Corps project. And as you can see, you have an entire devastated neighborhood. So we see the fundamental difference. Engineered beaches by the Army Corps, minimal destruction. Those that weren't engineered, maximum destruction, costs, and consequences. Rebuilding defenses only to the standard that existed before the storm will just give us more of the same in the next storm. If we don't do things differently, we shouldn't expect a different outcome. Right now, the Jersey Shore is like a person with a weak immune system. The storms destroyed our defenses, and that's why we need to rebuild them quickly. If we don't, a relatively mild storm can cause catastrophic damage. So this is a challenge to us right now. Right now, Mr. President, there are literally tens of thousands of small business owners trying to decide whether to reopen or pack it in. They're in a limbo. They're waiting to see what we, their federal government, does to respond to their tragedy. And they are making decisions in their lives and those of their businesses, and everybody who's hired by those businesses, waiting, however, frozen to make those decisions in determining, well, is the government only going to offer me a small business loan at low rates that are competitive with the marketplace and longer-term payment? Will they give me a grant towards my rebuilding? What type of other benefits will I be able to derive in order to make a determination, can I open this business again? After Katrina, in 10 days, the Congress passed 2 emergency supplementals that totaled over a little over $62 billion. Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. It has been 6 weeks, not 10 days, 6 weeks since the storm hit New Jersey, New York, and the Northeast, and there hasn't been any action. The urgency of now is incredibly important, and the urgency of doing this robustly is incredibly important to the recovery of a region that is so important to the economic engine of this country.